Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking Chapter 11, Societal Impact, straight from the CBSE Class X Computer Science curriculum, and we are turning it into what is basically your ultimate survival guide for the digital age. I mean, we literally spend half our lives staring at screens, right? But how often do we actually stop to think about the digital trail we're leaving behind, or the very real mechanisms that keep us safe online? Well, today we're unpacking the whole shebang. We're going to figure out exactly what it means to be a truly responsible, secure, and healthy digital citizen. To kick things off, let's look at this incredibly provocative thought from the late Stephen Hawking. It perfectly hits the nail on the head regarding the double-edged sword of technology. On one hand, tech is this amazing catalyst for human progress, giving us instant global communication and lightning-fast commerce. But on the flip side, we are navigating a landscape filled with unprecedented data vulnerability and malicious software. It's a stark reminder that our digital world isn't just a playground. It requires some serious active navigation and defense. So how do we get there? Here is our roadmap to becoming a true netizen. 1. Tracking your digital footprint. 2. Netiquette, the social contract. 3. Guarding ideas and information. 4. Surviving the cyber threat landscape. And 5. The netizen in equilibrium. Let's dive right into part 1, tracking your digital footprint. Okay, so it all starts with a little self-awareness. Every single time you log on, you leave a permanent trail. Think of it like a massive iceberg. The stuff you knowingly upload, your emails, your Instagram photos, your forum posts, that's just the visible tip of the iceberg. But lurking right beneath the surface is a colossal, invisible data trail. It's quietly tracking your browsing history, your cookies, your IP addresses, and even specific details about the device you're holding right now. So you've got to understand the difference here. You have your active footprints, which you deliberately create, and your passive footprints, which are constantly being tracked without you lifting a finger. And here is the golden rule you absolutely must remember, the server permanence rule. These footprints, they live on remote servers. Even if you clear your browser history locally, that data trail is permanent. And if you aren't careful, it can absolutely be exploited. Moving on to part 2, netiquette, the social contract. So we know what we leave behind, but how are we supposed to actually behave out there in this massive, interconnected community? Enter netiquette. This is basically our overarching digital social contract, and it's propped up by 3 massive pillars. First, be ethical. That means no unauthorized streaming and sharing only verified facts. Second, be respectful of people's privacy and backgrounds. Never ever share private DMs without consent. And third, be responsible. Stand against cyberbullying, and for the love of the internet, do not feed the trolls. They literally just want your attention, so starve them of it. For your everyday digital life, keep these rapid-fire rules in your back pocket. Be precise, respect people's time and bandwidth. Don't email a massive file if a quick cloud link does the trick. Be polite, keep things civil even when you're arguing online. Be credible, building a solid reputation over time. And defensively, be incredibly secure. Choose those passwords wisely, that your friend requests, and always think twice before hitting upload, because remember, you can't magically delete something from a remote server once it's out there. All right, part 3, guarding ideas and information. Now that we've got our behavior sorted out, let's talk about protecting the stuff you actually own. Imagine all your highly sensitive data, your health records, your biometrics, your banking info, sitting inside a heavy-duty steel vault. But here's the catch. That vault is totally exposed unless you actively use the locks on the outside. Those locks are encryption, scrambling your data so snoops can't read it, authentication, proving you are who you say you are, and protection policies, the actual legal frameworks dictating how companies can handle your info. But what about the ideas you create? Out in the open, we use the intellectual property rights matrix to legally protect our stuff. It's actually a pretty elegant system. Copyrights automatically lock down original creative works, like a novel or a piece of software code. Patents are for scientific or tech inventions, giving the creator 20 years of exclusive control. And trademarks, those protect the visual symbols and logos of a commercial brand, basically your defense against cheap knockoffs. If you cross those legal lines, well, you're looking at straight-up digital theft, and it comes in a few different flavors. Plagiarism is the theft of credit, slapping your name on someone else's work without citing them. Copyright infringement is the theft of usage, sharing protected work like movies or music without a license. And trademark infringement is the theft of brand, slapping a famous registered logo onto your own unauthorized products. But hey, not everything is locked behind a strict legal wall. There's actually a whole freedom spectrum of software. On the far left, you've got proprietary software. The source code is hidden, it costs money, and copying it is a huge no-no. Move to the right, and you hit freeware, free to use, but you still can't mess with the code. Keep going, and you reach FOSS, free and open source software, like Linux, where the code is totally open for the community to tweak and improve. Just be super careful not to fall into software piracy, which is illegally sharing that paid proprietary software. It degrades systems and really hurts the economy.
Let's jump into part 4, surviving the cyber threat landscape.
We're shifting gears rapidly here because it's a bit of a jungle out there. In the cyber threat landscape, your computer is either the target or it's the weapon used to commit other crimes. And that brings us to the hacker dichotomy. On one side, we have white hats. These are the good guys, the ethical security experts who find vulnerabilities so we can fix them. Squaring off against them are the black hats, or crackers. These are the criminals maliciously breaking into systems for corporate espionage, identity theft, or a quick payday. And these black hats are using some seriously nasty tools. Phishing and spoofing are those fake emails and sketchy URLs disguised as your bank, trying to harvest your login credentials. Identity theft is when they steal your PAN or Aadhaar details to literally impersonate you financially. And then there's ransomware. This is malicious software that completely encrypts your data, holding your own files hostage until you pay up for the decryption key. It's a nightmare scenario. To fight back against this, you cannot just sit around and hope for the best. You need an active defense toolkit. Your system defenses mean keeping your OS and antivirus constantly updated and keeping offline data backups. Your browsing defenses mean you only download from secure HTTPS sites, no pirated sketchy software. And your credential defenses? Strong, unique passwords with special characters. And listen, never ever use browser autofill on a shared public computer. Just don't do it. But sometimes personal defenses fail. And when they do, the law steps in. The Indian IT Act of 2000 is essentially your ultimate legal shield. It sets up regulatory bodies like the Cyber Appellate Tribunal to actually handle disputes over data tampering and hacking. It also gives legal teeth to digital signatures, meaning your e-commerce transactions and official e-governance documents have legally binding, rock-solid authentication.
Finally, part 5, the netizen in equilibrium.
For this last bit, I want us to pull completely out of the digital realm for a second. We've spent all this time talking about securing our data, playing nice on forums, and locking down our networks. But what is the actual physical cost of all this? What is the toll that this endless screen time takes on our real, human bodies? Because screen fatigue is incredibly real. Excessive screen time leads to physical burnout, eye strain, stress, and genuine digital addiction. No amount of online likes can replace real-world human connection. Setting up an ergonomic workspace is literally just as vital as installing that antivirus software. You need your screen to be 19 to 24 inches away from your face. You need a proper 90-degree posture, flat wrists, and hey, clean your screen once in a while to cut down on the glare. Take care of your body. Pulling this whole explainer together, we can see that being a true netizen in equilibrium is a balancing act. Digital citizenship isn't just one single action. It's a continuous, active process of being aware of your digital footprint, interacting ethically, protecting your ideas, defending against hackers, and keeping your actual physical body healthy while you do it. So as you head back out into the digital wilds today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Take a hard look at the data you intentionally post and the invisible passive trail you're leaving behind. Is your digital footprint a legacy you're genuinely proud of? Or is it a trail you need to start cleaning up right now? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the societal impact of our digital age. Stay secure out there, stay balanced, and as always, stay curious.